All right. Nick, Walter, let me see if I can make this as short and simple as possible. I wanted to put a video together for you guys, basically a home workout that you can do. I know, Nick, we discussed this. Walter, it'd be a great option for you, again, if you want to take it on. We're going to just create a circuit, real simple. The circuit's going to consist of some kind of anaerobic activity. Nick, we talked about doing that your hill at your house, right? Just a hill climb. Walter, you could always do a sprint on your driveway. Then we'll do some kind of squat. Single leg squat is what we'll do. You're going to do a push-up, a controlled push-up, a hang or an inverted row, and we'll get to that, and a hollow hold, all of which you guys have done before. So again, what it's going to look like is you'll do that either a hill climb or sprint. You'll go into your single leg squat. We'll do your push-up. We'll do your hang or inverted row, your hollow hold, and then you'll repeat. I'll get into some of the logistics as far as organizing it in just a second, but let's dive into that single leg squat a little bit. So we got a couple of options, and Nick, I know we wanted to work a little bit on balance and stuff, and we definitely will. The single leg stuff is really helpful for that. The first thing we do is a staggered stance squat. This is option number one. Walter, we've done a bunch of these with kettlebells. This is where, again, you're in this, like literally as if you were walking and stopped midstream. You're kickstanding that back toe, right? Staying in that position. We're going to slowly lower down. Little pause. Exhale, drive up, right? Slowly lower down. Little pause. Exhale, drive up. Obviously, if you want to grab something to make this more challenging, you can put something heavy in your hands. The other option, and this may even be the better option, right, is to pick up that foot and challenge your balance a little bit more. Same idea, right? Slow on that way down. Little pause. Exhale, drive it up. And the way that we can manipulate body weight stuff is by slowing it on the way down, slowing the eccentric phase, right, or the lowering phase, and putting a pause at the bottom, or exaggerating the isometric phase at the bottom. So again, little pause, exhale, drop up and down. Notice I'm not going any lower than 90 degrees at the knee, 90 degrees at the hip. I'm making, basically my torso and my shin are parallel with each other, and it's literally no deeper than I could, do a single leg jump and jump out of. Another option, and Walter, we were going to go here, or I'd like to go here with you on this, is doing a pistol squat. I'm not too warmed up. Let's see if I can actually do this. But a pistol squat is just a single leg squat. Creates a lot. You have to create a lot of tension. Right? Just a single leg squat. The way we get there is by starting up maybe a little bit higher and slowly working our way down. So in this case, just like using a bench or a chair, same idea. Engage the core, squeeze the hands. How smooth can you lower? And what you can do is slowly work. Maybe you start off in a chair and you slowly work a stool and kind of get lower, lower, and lower. We'll dive into this more and more, man. They're a lot of fun. But again, that's another option for you. So, right, you can start off with that staggered stance squat, kickstanding the toe. You can pick up the toe, do a skater squat, or you can do that pistol squat. Well, let's move on to your push-up. So with a push-up, I know both of you guys can bang out push-ups, no problem, but what I want you to do is kind of that same idea, is create tension, right? Create that tension like you do with your plank. Squeezing the quads, locking out the knees, squeezing the butt, engaging the core, and then again, breaking the bar like you do with your bench press, right? And slowly lowering down, putting a pause at the bottom, just like with the squat. So my recommendation is to put your chest down on something like a yoga block, especially, Nick, because we want to protect that shoulder. So, right, just as an example, I want to corkscrew my hands into the floor. Right, we're going to make that plank position. I'm going to lock out my knees. I'm going to engage in the quads. I want to squeeze my butt, quarter between the cheeks. I want to engage my core like you do with that hollow hold and plank. Then I'm going to, again, rotate that floor, break the bar, lift through the sternum. Inhale as I slowly lower down. Little pause. Drive through the pinky side of the palm as you press up. Again, inhale, slowly lower down. Little pause. Exhale, up and out. If that gets ridiculously easy, right, you can always pick up a foot and try to make it even more challenging. All right, you guys, so moving on from there is let's do a hold. I'm going to give you two options here, depending upon what you have available to you. We can do your hang. Walter, we've done a ton of these. Nick, I'm not sure if we've done these yet. But just where you're just literally doing a low hang. And this is where it's the bottom of your pull-up, right? So we're going to, whether it's a tree branch or whether it's God, man, you can do this on a deck or even like on a stairwell. If you have an exposed back of a stairwell, you can obviously do that. But we're going to find that position. You're going to break the bar, lift through that sternum. We're going to wrap the legs. We're going to create that hollow hold. You don't have to do those quick, sharp breaths, but you do want to maintain that nice, strong structure, right? Versus letting it just kind of hang. Wrap the legs, right? Tuck the pelvis, engage that core, break the bar, pack your lats, get your lats engaged. So we'll address that in just a second as far as like the timing and so forth. The last thing we're gonna do is your hollow hold. Oh, you know what? Inverted row. So another option is to do, instead of the hang, is to do an inverted row. And Nick, we discussed this the other day. Walter, you've done a ton of these in many different ways with me. Obviously here I'm using the straps, but you can, I've done this where you grab the bottom of a desk and you can even put your feet up on like a chair, grab the bottom of a desk and just pull your body towards the desk. It's awkward as all hell, but it'll work those lats. So anything, again, a stairwell, you can kind of go backwards under a stairwell and reach in and grab it, whatever way, again, if you prefer the hang, and if that's what's available to you, or that inverted row, either way. The last thing let's do is a hollow hold. Again, and this is nothing new for either of you guys. All right, so let's just to review, right? This is where we're gonna tuck the tailbone, flatten out the back, depress the ribs. We're chin tucked, we're looking at our heels, arms wrapped across, we're gonna extend on out. Those nice, quick, sharp breaths. And the idea is to think, get a little tighter, a little tighter, a little tighter, right? If this is pretty easy, you can always extend the arms. We're gonna go 20 exhalations. We'll bring it in, lower on down, and then we'll repeat. And we'll do that 3 times per rotation. So the big thing is like what I would do as far as programming this, and God, please don't hesitate to reach out, but what I would do as far as programming this is you want to wave the load or vary the volume. And what I mean by that is how many repetitions, how many sets, and so forth. Since we're doing a circuit, the simplest way to do this is pick, my recommendation would be like, do this maybe 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. On Monday, make it your light day, right? So we're gonna do a light day or a low volume day, a high volume day, and a moderate volume day. So let's just say Monday low volume, and let's say we go 2 to 3 circuits. We make it real simple, right? And then on Wednesday, we're gonna make it your high volume day. So we'll do like anywhere between 6 to 8 circuits. You're really pushing it. And then on Friday, we'll find somewhere in between. Maybe we do anywhere between 4 and 5 circuits, right? So something like 3, 8, and 5, right? Or 2, 4, 2, 6, and 4. But finding what is feasible for you time-wise and energy-wise, and then waving the load just like that. As far as your repetitions are concerned, with your squats, with your sprint or your hill climb, it's just going to be 1, right? You're going to sprint down, back, and you'll commence with the rest of it. Hill climb, down, back, commence with the rest of it. With your repetitions, we want to leave a couple in the tank. So what I mean by that is with your squat or with your push-up, if you can do 10 well, in good form, do 8, right? If you can do 8, do 6. But undercut your effort a little bit and make sure it looks good. You want the first rep of your first set to look just as clean as your last rep on your last set, if that makes any sense. With your hang, it's undercut your effort a little bit there too. You can kind of go to failure. It's not gonna, I mean, just because of you're not trying to, you're just creating that structure. As soon as that structure breaks down, you're done. But you can undercut your effort a little bit there. So if you can hold for 60 seconds, do it for 45, right? So, man, I hope that's helpful, you guys. My recommendation as far as rest is concerned, you guys have probably both heard me say, you know, Walter, I know you have, rest until your breathing normalizes. You know, that's, you know, definitely between your sprint or your hill climb and your squats. Let your breathing normalize to where you can sing a song or hum a tune, right, before you commence. And really kind of in between each, you want to perform well, right? So in between each exercise and definitely in between each circuit, let your breathing normalize to where you can hum a tune or sing a song, right? So that you perform just as optimally on that first or on your last circuit as you do your first circuit. Hey fellas, I hope this is helpful. If it's, you know, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll see you in a couple weeks.